Coming off a few recent occurrences, I feel motivated. I feel inspired. I feel legitimized. I feel validated because of events that have happened, not big events, just small, infinitesimal events that really give me a sense of worth when it comes to doing what I do on here. There was one, and this kind of ties into my own work. I showed Mike, voice of Stunshot, Mike Koppel, Megabyte Unleashed. I showed him the season finale, and he applauded it. He physically applauded it. And we had a brainstorming session, and he came up with some really good ideas that I was able to not only use, but expand upon. And to me, that was validation. Getting a round of applause from one man, but to get one of my best friends respond that way to one of my videos, it was humbling. It really was. I felt myself going red. I felt myself blushing because it just made me think that everything I've done was worth it. And there is no better feeling than that. Hopefully everyone else thinks the same thing when they see the finale after this. Another incident that makes me feel validated was my cameo appearance in the Figments episode, Going Little Psycho. You see my USPS character giving a job interview to Alaric, Figment's alter ego. It was a small role. There was nothing heroic about it. There was nothing Dezaras about it. But I was in someone else's work. I was in someone else's series. And yes, it was only a small role, but I was there. And the fact that the Figment pitched the crossover, and he was the first one to drop a teaser for said crossover. It's humbling again, and I feel it validates me. And the crossover we hope is still going to happen. We're still throwing out ideas and stuff. And then a couple of weeks ago, it was the night I dropped the Cougar Man episode, and I met Nightwings Beyond in game. We chatted on Skype, and he has like 180 odd skill points. He's got 100 more skill points than me. He's got CR of 125. We dueled, and he beat my ass down every time. And he's got a way better base than me. His fucking cave is so cool. But he seemed to be legitimately excited to be stood face to face with Dezaras, the Dark Saviour, my character, talking to me, on the creator on Skype, and just stood there atop Wayne Enterprises with Dezaras, and he was just so excited. Again, it was humbling, it was validating, it was embarrassing, it was flattering, everything felt worth it, and everything still feels worth it, because doing stuff like this, regardless of whether I'm doing my Transformers, the soap stuff, or whether I'm doing my Transformers reviews, or whether I'm doing my Dark Saviour stuff, we all seek validation. We seek it in different ways. Some people seek validation through high view counts or high subscriber count. That doesn't bother me. My validation to me is if people like what I'm doing. Even if it isn't everybody, even if it's only a handful of people that like what I'm doing, that is enough for me. That validates me. If people want not only to be a part of my work, but want me to be a part of theirs, that is more than enough for me. And that is one of the best feelings in the world as a YouTuber. It's more personal because I could have 6,000 subscribers. I don't. And all 6,000 of those subscribers could watch my work. They don't. And they could all comment and say, really like this. The ones that watch it do. But it's the personal thing. When your best friend applauds your work. When another good friend not only wants to work with you and be in your series, but wants you to be in their series. And there are a couple of, like, there's Alexander, and there's Dijon, Figment, and then there's Kenny, Sincere, who wants to be in my series somehow. We're still ironing out the details on that one, but I feel validated. It makes me feel wanted. Like I'm worth a damn. And there are other people, like Bruce Shonuff. He's part of the group now. And we've talked about me being in something of his. And this is where I feel like the DCUO Cinematic Multiverse really lives. Because we're not a massive group. It's not like everybody who's ever done a DCUO video is part of this group. But we all want to work together. We all do our own thing. Nightwing's Beyond. Alexander has just recently released the first episode of Nightwing Beyond the serial. It's very good. Some of the stuff he does in his videos is he goes above and beyond in every way. And he wants to be in Dark Saviour. He wants me to be in Nightwing's Beyond. Now, Kenny Sincere, he's got his own series coming, Shadow Knight. He wants to be in Dark Saviour. He wants to use my characters in Shadow Knight. And, you know, logistics aside, can he use a character I haven't used yet? No, because I want to establish it first in my own continuity. But the fact that he wants to, and the fact that he wants a variation of his character in my series, means everything. It really does. That is the spirit of this group. The few of us that there are have so many ideas and so many fucking plans. There's a unity there, a real unity. That, you know, some of those people are the best people. Like I said, Nightwing's Beyond beat my ass every time in PvP, in dueling and stuff. We all know where our strengths lie. We all tell good stories. My particular strength is storytelling. You'll see that in the finale, because I went a bit PvP in the finale. I had to. Dezaras versus Stunshot is the season finale. I would call, and Mark agreed with this, the fight is the weakest part. But he still applauded the episode because the story's strong. And that is what is important to me when I do my stuff. I'm a Transformers fan, you know that. And I like the Transformers films, the Michael Bay films. I enjoy them for what they are, silly robot smashing your face vests. I can get by on those without a story, because it's big robots fucking killing each other. The stories aren't the strongest in there. I'm not saying I write better stories, but the main focus for me is the story. I'm not just going to go out there and fight criminals with no rhyme or reason. It's about telling a good story. And I think I do that pretty well. And everyone else does it well. Figment does it well. He does it in a different way to me because he shows both sides of the Figment coin. You see, with the Figment, you see he's got the fighting crime in costume. And then you see his civilian life, being late for a date, being late for school, rooming with Squishy, and all that stuff. I don't do enough of, I don't think. He nails it on both ends. I mainly tell the hero side of it. You don't often see Dezaras out of costume. When you do see him out of costume, you don't see him not working. Episode 2, Revelation and Mystery, he was working mainly. He was out of costume for most of the episode, but he was still working. He was still investigating. Still doing the Dezaras thing, just without the mask and the hood. It's something I hope to rectify going forward. You might not see much of it in Season 3, because Season 3 is kind of like this big ongoing thing where you don't see much of him out of costume. But Season 4 onwards, I do have plans to show more of Dezaras' civilian life. And it's something that I'm a bit late to the party to. You see Alexander, I keep calling him Stan because that's the first name on his Facebook, it's the first name that comes to mind. But he showed the origin story, and he works in a bar, and even when he became a Green Lantern, he still worked in that bar, and he does his civilian stuff. Figment does his civilian stuff. I haven't seen Shadow Knight yet, that hasn't been finished. I don't know how Trent will do his civilian stuff. But they mix it well. And, you know, they are people that inspire me. They are people I can learn from. They are people that motivate me to do better things and to expand more. And that is basically pretty much what this video log, this part of the video log, has been about. And that is how the people around me, the people that I work with, that within this community, how they inspire me and motivate me to try and do better stuff. And so for that, guys, I say thank you. And yeah, that one got a bit deep, didn't it? Nightwing's Beyond, the serial, has started. Episode 1. Haven't seen episode 2 yet. He hasn't put it up yet. But, you know, hopefully soon. Shadow Knight, coming soon. Next episodes of The Figment are being worked on. I have been working with him on that. Not Dezaras, but I have been assisting in some areas. Ventus, where are you? Sure enough, do something. No, I know, these things take a lot of planning. They do. It's not an easy process to do this stuff. But I'm sure they've got things in the works. We've all got things in the works, and we are all hopefully motivating and inspiring each other to be better at what we do. That's pretty much all I have to say on that. You shall see me next time with my season finale video log and the Steel Saviour video log, because that's coming as well. Week after the season finale. The finale will drop on the 20th. Elseworlds, Steel Saviour, will drop on the 27th. I ain't done with you lot by a long shot.